This time I have another $10 Laserdisc player that I purchased off Facebook. This time it's a Sony MDPA800K2 Karaoke Laserdisc Auto Reverse. And this one doesn't play. I may have met my match. Let's find out. I picked up another $10 Sony Laserdisc off Facebook. This time it's an MDPA800K2. It's a karaoke machine. I'm told it does not work. Of course it doesn't work. It's got the wrong plug on it. Found another one that's got a European plug. So before we even plug it in, I got to change that out. Got myself a little Leviton. It's a 3-pronger. I know, don't need a 3-prong plug on this, but it was cheap. It was free. So have to go with what was free. So that third prong we can just eliminate it or just leave it on there unconnected. But again, it was a free plug, so that's what we'll put on it. So I'll lop off the cord. To the guy that thinks my clines need to be sharpened, I digress. And once again, open up the jacket. Being double insulated, there's separate insulation on the two internal wires. You notice that the blue wire has the neutral white stripe, marking it as a neutral wire. Hot and neutral. We'll strip the wire. We'll tin the very tip just to keep the wires from unraveling when I put them onto the screw terminals. And for this, I'll use my new Weller soldering iron, the first time I've used it. You have to get used to holding something this chunky. I'm used to the little skinny pencils from the other ones that I've been using. This is a brute. Just the tip of the wire to stop it from separating when I put it under the screw terminal. There we go. Tighten down the clamp. Yeah, it's not the most pretty plug in the world, but it'll get the job done. Again, it does not have to be a 3-prong. I can remove that ground prong if I want. It doesn't matter. It's not going to do anything. Assembled in Mexico. What do you expect? Alright, so let's see if this thing powers up. Okay, I've plugged it in. I've got standby power. Got my multi-disc player demonstration disc, if it will play. Which it won't. Guaranteed it's not going to play. Power on. I get the welcome screen. So that part works. I heard an awful noise there. Let's see if it opens. This is an auto reverse player too. Side A and side B. So what happens when I press this? Actually, I know this is going to be an impressive machine. So let's just get this camera back into position here. Open. It opens. It says stop on the screen. It identifies it as a Laserdisc. Play. Will it play? Let's see what the screen's gonna do. Doesn't seem like it's wanting to spin out. I'm going to try side B. No, so it's not even going to do that. It's just turned itself off. Actually, it's locked itself out. You have to remove power when this happens. So we definitely have a problem with this player. At this point, it's locked up. It won't even open. It just has off flashing on the screen. So I'll unplug it. That should reset it. Let's see if I can open the disc. Okay, so we have our work cut out for us. I gotta open this unit up. Rid of the new soldering iron for the time being. I will be setting it up, but I'm not quite ready yet. I gotta take the other one out of here. So for now, I'll just move it out of the way. So I've got some room to get this open. I'd like to do a visual inspection and take a look at what is actually happening inside when it tries to play. So this is the inner workings of this unit. As you can see, it has a lot more in it than, say, the last player that I had. Although I think this one here, the board, everything's on top on this one. There's no bottom that comes off on this, so all the circuitry is on this board on top here. The board itself will fold out of the way to access the circuitry. Let's just see what it's doing here. I'm just going to reload the disc. I want to observe what it does as it tries to spin up. Now this is a very complex mechanism on this unit, as you will see. Okay, I'm going to try playing the disc. The disc appeared to be stuck there. This is one of the faults, and this one's going to take a while to figure out what's going on. Maybe that's our problem. Try side B. So it looks like we have a focus problem. This was not an easy one to troubleshoot, and it's going to take a while to get this one running. I'm going to get it partially working, and then I had to think about why it wasn't working. Also, somebody's been into this unit. So it's not reading a CD either. I'll tell you how I know someone's been into this. One, there were some missing screws from the back, but the screws that hold the disc clamp in place, there are 3 different types of screws that someone's put in. Let's see if we get light. Oh yeah, so you can see the laser, and you can see it hunting for focus. So the laser is emitting light. I know someone's been in this unit before because some of the screws in the back are missing. So be curious to see what's going on under the board here. So this one of the screws that holds the board in place at the back on the hinge is missing. So somebody's been tipping this board up. One thing that always makes me nervous is these flexible cables on the back here. Right, it's got the flex cable that goes up to the laser, and right on the back here it's got a nice kink in it from the way it's folded, and I always get nervous when, especially when people have been into them. You never know what damage they may have done. I just want to unseat this and reseat it again. Sometimes this flexible cable cause problems. We'll try this again and just see what it does now that I've reseated that cable. It's certainly not focusing properly. That's contributing to the problems it has. I don't know what it is about old tech, but Laserdiscs, I just absolutely love the old Laserdiscs because they're big. They're like a big LP record, completely analog. I just love the old Laserdisc. They're so mechanical. I just find them cool, especially these ones that auto reverse. There's so many things going on in here to make this thing work. In this case, it's not working. Just the way that that flips back and forth on this design really makes me wonder if maybe this is where the fault is. Watch what it does when I go to side 2. Watch this ribbon. See how it kinks like that and then flips it back like that? I'm going to focus my attention on the ribbon cable on the back here. Just I want to test it and make sure it's not damaged. So we'll unplug it. Unplug this other one over here too so it doesn't get damaged. Okay, now I can lift the board out of the way, sort of, and we can unplug the rest of the ribbon. See, I'm concerned. You see right here. If we look right down here where it's got this sharp bend in it. You see this here? I'm concerned that maybe this might be damaged. Because these did go bad. Just the way that these were put together. And I just got this thing to start to play a bit. Ultimately, all I've done so far is I've just reseated that ribbon cable.
That's the only thing that's been done so far, and I've now got it starting to play. It's going to be a work in progress, as you'll see as we get into the video.
I'm going to try tweaking these tilt controls a bit.
The tilt control does exactly as it sounds. It tilts the optical pickup either towards the spindle or towards the edge of the disc. That's to make the laser perpendicular to the track so that it's looking directly straight at the track at all times, and it can adjust as the disc is playing. CD players and DVD players don't have that option, but then we're talking a much smaller disc. This is a 12-inch disc.
I'm getting somewhere. Okay, this thing's starting to play. I've done nothing to it other than reseat that connector. And I just kind of tweaked the servo, the balance controls a bit. The A tilt and the B tilt. I just kind of rocked the controls back and forth a bit. And this thing has started to play. This is, I think, the CLV side. Yeah, this is CLV. Let's just see if the other side will play. I'll flip it back to the other side. Okay, I'm having trouble getting it to play side A, it looks like. Well, it's getting up there. Okay, side A doesn't want to play. I'm going to flip back to side B. And side B is playing. So that might be the A tilt. Got an A tilt and a B tilt. Let's just try the A tilt control. Go back to side A. A tilt is this one. I think, let me show you something. If we look, watch the ribbon cable when it's trying to spin up. It's like it's rubbing the disc. What is it? A. Look at the ribbon cable. It almost looks like it's touching up against the disc.
I'm trying just adjusting the A tilt, which is for the A side, the B tilt obviously for the B side. But I'm not having much luck.
As I go to side B, it plays. Interesting. And it's almost playing perfect. Well, it is playing perfect. Look at this. Look at this. It's playing perfect. Or pretty much. I'm just going to try that disc. I'm going to flip the disc over and see whether it's just the CAV that it's not reading it. Because this is the CLV side. So I'm going to turn the disc over. And we'll see whether it reads the CLV side when it's on side A. So it's still not reading side A. If we go to side B, this will be the CAV side now. And there it is. It's reading the CAV side now. And I can pause this and get a perfect picture, perfect freeze frame from the CAV side. As you can see, I'll freeze it once it starts to play here. See? I can freeze this one. CAV. So we know the pickup's working. We know the motor's working. It's working. It's just not playing side A. That's what we have to work on, getting it to play side A. So what the tilt control does is it actually tilts the laser, physically tilts the laser, and if it's off, you'll see interference, like crosstalk. Like in the reds, if I tilt it back, it'll clear the picture up. See, we're getting some mistracking now. And I'll show you what it does on the actual laser itself, the actual pickup. So if you watch the laser pickup, when I adjust the tilt control, you'll see it'll actually physically move the pickup, move the angle of the pickup. See? And it does affect the quality of the playback. So there's one for each direction. I still get the sneaking suspicion that that's what's wrong on the A, why it's not playing the A side properly, is that my tilt is off.
It's not. And you won't believe what it is until I show you.
This unit being digital servo on this one. There's no adjustments other than that tilt. So it's odd that it's not playing the A side. I'll have to do some more investigating on this. See if we can figure out why it's playing the B side perfectly, like side 2. But side 1 is not, as you can see. This is side 2. It's playing it pretty much perfectly.
Everything was playing fine. I figured I'd let it play for a bit, and then disaster struck.
It was playing and it stopped, and it decided to jam, and I think it has just destroyed the cable. It is so tight now. I don't know what happened. It was playing. It was playing side 2, and I was letting that disc play, and when it got to the end of the disc, when it stopped, it jammed. I had to take the face off it to get the disc out because I couldn't open it up. This may be beyond repair. I'm sure that this is broken now for sure. It kind of self-destructed. I'll release the cable and unplug it and see if we can unravel it here. It's got like twisted all the way around, one full turn around the thing. I'm sure that this cable is shot now. It's kind of a stupid design, this one, to tell you guys the truth. Real stupid design. Ah, man. Well, maybe I wasted $10. I don't know if I'm going to be able to ever find one of these ribbons. If someone's got one, they want to send me one, that'd be great. If you've got a spare ribbon cable for a Sony MDP, I think it's an MDPA800.
I think what happened is I had it playing
and see if anything happens.
with the board flipped up, and then I closed the board down while it was still, when it was playing, and it must have made contact with the disc as it was stopping.
Kind of a dumb design the way they had this thing, how they have the slack taken up in the back like that to hold the slack. But I bet it's shot. I bet this thing's foobar at this point. I really can't see this thing playing at all at this point, but we'll see. That's side A trying to play. I'll try side B. Don't tell me this thing's still going to play. Unbelievable. It's playing still. Even with that ribbon that got all wrapped up. Isn't that weird? Look. It's playing. Unbelievable. That's weird. I don't know what happened. It was just, I'd actually fastened the board back on like this, and I was just letting it play. And somehow, when it went around, it caught the ribbon and jammed it like that. Okay, it's playing again. Playing side B. Like, even if this unit only plays side B, it's not a total loss. Sure, it won't auto reverse, but you can start it on side B and flip the disc over and put it on side B, right? Like, I can put a disc in instead of putting it in for side 1, put it in for side 2 and hit the B play button. So even if I don't get it to play side A, it's still not a total loss. It was $10. It's a $10 Laserdisc player. It plays single-sided discs, basically. There it's playing side, this is playing side B, right? So, right, and then to flip the disc over, you just flip it over and hit the side B button instead of the side A button. Be nice if it played both sides, but it does not want to seem to play the A side. I'm just making sure that the thing's not going to eat the ribbon cable like it did the first time. I don't know why it ate that ribbon cable. Well, I'm going to throw this thing kind of together and just, I'm going to test this for a bit. See if we can figure out why the side A is not playing. I'm going to run some hours up on it. Just see whether things will return more to normal. Love that front. Oops. Gotta make sure that it's all the way closed, snapped in place. There we go. As I say, at the end of the day, if it has to be a side B only machine, it's easy just to hit the side B button and have it play side B. But I'm going to run this thing up for a bit and do some research. One of the neat features that this had was you could switch it to karaoke and it would lower the panel down. Then you could change the pitch. You could bring the key up or key down. And it would cue it up, ready to go. And then when you were ready to go, you hit, you hit play or pause. Did you get this thing? Yeah, I hit pause. So you could cue a track up and you could change the pitch. So if someone was off key, you could bring the pitch of the music up, or bring the pitch of the music down. I'll do that while I'll put that up a bit so you can hear what I'm doing here. You change the pitch.
So I was thinking, why would it play one side and not the other? What's the difference between the two of them? I got to thinking, maybe, just maybe, we have a height problem with the spindle. The disc is either a little too high or a little bit too low. and the lens cannot focus because it's at the end of its travel. But with the pickup facing the other direction, of course, one way the lens is lifting up, the other way the lens is trying to pull up, due to gravity. Maybe, just maybe, our problem is the height of the main spindle, which could be the motor bearing wearing slightly and allowed the disc to drop. That's always a possibility. The bearing starting to wear out on the bottom of the motor caused the disc to drop a fraction of a millimeter, because it wouldn't take much. I'm trying to get in here to adjust this thing, but I'm going to actually have to take this entire top bracket off. But there is an adjustment to adjust the spindle height. We're going to go down that road and see whether that is going to give me side A playback. I was thinking about this as I was watching how it tried to read, like it was trying to focus but couldn't.
Someone's been into this, because these are not the same screws. These are different screws. Somebody's been into this. I think this is where my problem might be. Why it's not playing side A is that there might be a height discrepancy on the clamp. Because sometimes the disc was sticking a bit. So I'm thinking that this might be out of adjustment. And it might be just a little bit too low for it to focus in one direction. Because sometimes the disc will stick and you just give it a bit of a turn, almost like it's resting up against the edge here, stopping it from turning certain discs. So I'm thinking maybe just a height adjustment. I'm going to try and bring this up by maybe a millimeter. See if that affects the playback for the side A. There should be a height adjustment on here. If I can get the right size hex key. Okay, that is the right size one, I think. Let's just see if we can move this up just a smidge. See, that will raise and lower this. Slightly. Alright, let's just try putting that clamp back on and see whether that will fix the problem. I'm kind of convinced that the failure to play side A is a mechanical problem, not an electronic problem. If the disc isn't quite at the right height, like if the disc is a little bit too low or a little bit too high, it'll affect the focus. Let's see whether I've made any difference. Okay.
Off camera, I'm just going to raise that up about another 0.5 millimeter. And then we'll try it again. As when I loosened it to adjust it, it slipped down a bit, so I didn't get it quite in exactly the same position. So I'm going to bring it up about a millimeter maybe.
Just trying. See if side B will still play. I may have to raise it up just a little more. Alright, I'm going to try my Canyon Dreams. This is a single-sided disc, so we'll put it in with side 1 down and select side A play and see whether this thing's going to play. Side A. Is it going to play? It's playing side A. Alright. Let's try side B. I gotta actually remove the disc and turn it over because this is a single-sided disc. Play side B this time. It always did play side B before. And okay, why is it not playing side B this time? It was playing side B before, and now it seems to not want to play side B, but that might just be an adjustment for the tilt control, for example. So let's just try adjusting the tilt control. There we go. Side B is not playing. Excellent. So we'll just make sure. Stop it. Side B. And then I'll flip this disc over again and make sure it plays side A. So there's side B. Okay. And we'll remove the disc. Side A. Come on, you can do it. I'm very close to getting this thing to work. Just try my tweak my tilt control ever so slightly. Side A. Oops. Side A, please. There we go. Side A is playing. Cool. Let's try a different disc. This is the double-sided disc here. This is just my demo disc. So I'll put on side A and make sure it plays, and then we'll flip it to side B in the machine itself. I'm very close to making this work properly. Okay, so it's kicked in a bit. But it read side A, let's see side B. It's just going to be adjustments now, I think. I might still have to make some careful adjustments. The height might still be off just a smidge. But it certainly is doing better. There's side B. Let's go back to side A. I might say it might still be off just a touch.
Or it might just be my tilt is out a bit still. There we go, just adjusted the tilt ever so slightly. Side A. Let's go to side B. Side B. Excellent. Excellent. Watch this thing flipping back and forth. Go back to side A. There goes the laser. You see it'll shift it slightly. It clamps it a little differently. I think it lowers it down more. When it's on side B, it pushes down more on the clamp. Looks to be that way anyway. Side A, is side A going to read? And side A is still going to give me some headaches, so we'll just try this. Oh, no, it did play. I didn't touch anything. Back to side B. There goes our pickup again. I'll do it without touching this. You can skip ahead to various tracks too. See if it'll go to chapter 5 and read that okay. Oh. There it is, it's reading it. Skip ahead to the next chapter. Next chapter. We're getting there. Okay, it's reading side A. I just want to see whether I can search out. There we go. Here we are playing side A. Go to side B. Okay, track 4.
I'm just adjusting the tilt for the different sides. Because if my angle is not quite right, it will have trouble reading as the disc moves out, as the laser moves out. Okay, just made one last little adjustment I just lowered it down about maybe a half a millimeter. And here's side 1 is playing. And then if I flip it over to side 2, reverses, and side 2 plays right away. I think I've got it. I'm pretty close. I'm going to continue to test this thing off camera, run some movies through it, but if it plays the movies end to end, both sides, then I'm pretty happy that I've done okay for 10 bucks. And now I'm going to sit down and enjoy a movie from CBS Fox. I better not show that for more than about 5 seconds, or they'll get upset that I'm going to watch one of my movies that I have. I'm going to enjoy this. One other thing I noticed, that intermittently the disc would stick, and unfortunately I missed this on camera, but I think I can maybe simulate it. Nope. I can't simulate it now. What I found was the disc tray was hanging up a bit on one edge, and it would cause the disc to lock. I think we got a shot of that early when I started working on this for the first time, when I first opened it. So what I did was, this is a real scientific repair. What I did was, because I found that it was a little bit high on this side, so when the disc would stick, all I had to do was just push down slightly on here. So I just took the, off camera of course, I just pressed down and pulled up on this side and give a bit of a bend to this to allow the tray to drop down. And then I've been loading and unloading, and it's been playing everything flawlessly. I've loaded about 20 discs through here now, and I'm watching movies on it and letting it play here. As we can see, it's playing perfect. So that is the Laserdisc all fixed up. MDPA800K2 karaoke unit. Now I guess I got to go dig up my karaoke discs. You don't want to hear me sing karaoke, believe me. It's an embarrassment. But I have a couple karaoke discs that I could actually put in this thing and let them play. And side 2. Just like that. And back to side 1. Fully functional. Quick reverse. So this machine actually reverses pretty quick. If I hit the button, this is how quick this reverses to side 2. There you go. That's a pretty quick reversing machine. Anyway, thanks for watching. This one's done. I'm going to continue to watch some movies on this. This one here that I'm going to watch now is Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. And this one is on 2 discs. It's on 3 sides. So after the second disc, or after the second side plays, I'm going to have to change the disc. Anyway, I'm going to actually have this thing running here while I'm doing some work. I got a few other things I got to work on, so I'm just going to have this thing sitting on the bench while I do some work here as I continue to test it, and then we'll throw it back together. I've got it all ready to go. I've got everything all buttoned up. I just haven't put the top on it yet. Just observing to make sure that everything is 100% before I put the top on it, but I'm at 100% now. Everything's working like it should. Thanks for watching.